stream best out of 5. The Hattori pick from Landfish is actually quite interesting because usually you see people pick Hattori more often in 2s, especially to go with that light and heavy combo. Usually it's like a Hattori and Taros or Hattori and like a Rayman or something. But seeing Hattori in 1s really says, really kind of gives it a statement that someone knows what they're doing. Playing Hattori in 2s just says that they know about team comp and that they know that they have to, be a team player in 2s, which is a given. But someone playing Hattori in 1s, I don't really see that as much. It definitely shows some experience and some mastery with overall her set, especially since it can be kind of hard to master, especially at this level right here with the 2500s, the 2600s, the 2400s. It can be pretty hard to perform with. Her SIGs are, I guess, a little unconventional. They can be pretty slow, pretty easy to punish, so they really force you to think on your feet and play just that chip damage with the neutral, or maybe even get some pretty good combos if you've seen some spear players. If you see some high-level spear mains play Hattori, you can see the cutscene damage brutality that they're able to work with Spear, but right now they're gonna have to wait on Spear to see if they're able to get any of that done. But they've actually done a pretty good job on the chip damage, but it goes up a little bit in smoke as a minute into the game, Landfish gets taken out of the first stock. Production! Production! Hello. Wave to us. You can also see some of the reads that Landfish is trying to connect. The download isn't quite getting there, so maybe we'll have to see some of those come in later matches, or even later this match. But so far, if someone's going to get a read, it is more likely for it to beat Djessir. They've actually already starting to get some reads, starting to attempt Djessir to KO. And even Landfish is even having a very difficult time on managing Djessir's movement, although perfectly avoiding those nairs. I think we will have to either see a weapon swap or wait until later in the match in order for Landfish to actually really be a step ahead Djessir mentally, but skillfully right now is a still very real possibility as they have a chance of being in a stock lead. I mean, Ulgrim is sometimes like a second Taros. It's like an honorary Taros. And I'm also very impressed with Landfish's ability to not get that second stock taken out of them while still playing quite well and able to get Djessir into the yellow. But right now, I'm even more impressed by Djessir doing the complete opposite, staying in the yellow, just not getting the orange while transitioning Landfish's health over from white to pretty much KO color, and then not quite the recovery will send Landfish the D-Sig to celebrate was a little bit too early. It's going to have to be an end light that finally lets him yeah, and we also, while the players are spanning their maps right now, we do have some pretty interesting updates. Ooh. So far, 4 of the 5 games that we have I guess observed or have some information on have been 3-0s, and I'm really hoping that this doesn't go the same way. And telling by that we have Landfish is actually going with a pretty considerable drip change, going from just stock Hattori into a gold forge Kitsune Hattori. So and also a different map
1,
entirely.
brawl.
Although you can see as this a little bit similar. The platforms themselves are spaced a little bit differently, but overall this is a map that you can't go under the stage for, and it has two side platforms, so it is a little similar. Maybe that's where some of Landfish's strategy comes in about the map pick. But so far, Djessir is squaring up quite nicely, but maybe not up against the sword. Some of these combos from his sword in the for opening 30 seconds of this game. Oh my goodness, Isaac would have been huge. Landfish has also improved their spacing just incredibly. As you can see, a lot of the attacks that once were hitting, although that D-Light connects, a lot of the attacks that were once connecting in the first game are not connecting as much, especially when Landfish has Spear, but right now they have to make some work with Sword that work just fantastically. So we're gonna have to see how well maybe that spacing comes into play, because spacing works different no matter which different depending on which weapon you're playing, because you want to stay out of your opponent's threat, but you want Djessir, there we go. Some of those reads coming in at Djessir. I think has Landfish downloaded. Yeah, Djessir has Landfish downloaded quite well, and even already has the punish on that ground pound, and is starting to make this a pretty uneven game. But that is not before Landfish is able to put Djessir in a pretty scary situation on this ledge guard. But no problem for this Ulgrim. He's able to make his way back. Oh, wow. No. Landfish was very bold with that side stick. This could be the 3 stock of a lifetime for Landfish, though. Oh no.
Player 2 wins.
Ooh. Yeah, and while you're in winner's bracket, the idea of loser's bracket is better than being in loser's bracket, because it's nice to have that safety net. It's nice to play your best and still know, even if something goes wrong, I still got another chance. But being in loser's bracket, it's definitely not somewhere you want to be. Yeah, just like you talked about, twice as many games. We have a Bren enjoyer. We have some Bren enjoyers in chat. Where are y'all? Where's our Bren enjoyers?
3, 2, 1, brawl.
If we watch If you watch the footage carefully, we can probably see him sliding under the table. Yeah, the spear was working decently for Landfish last game. As you can see, the spacing worked out pretty well. The sword was also looking quite well. We're going to see how well Landfish squares up to the axe versus axe matchup, which can be a little bold. The reads are still quite not connecting for Landfish, as Djessir is still playing quite nicely with this lance, but is it slowing down? Is Landfish actually making the Bren work? This could be... Last game could have been the reverse 3-stock. Yeah, the last game could have been the reverse 3-stock of a lifetime, which didn't happen, but this could be the reverse 3-0 of a lifetime. Landfish able to get the first stock, although starting to be on the last few limbs on this first. Djessir choosing with Axe. Jesser's actually gotten some pretty efficient KOs with the Axe. The Djessir is not going to quite beat it with Bryn's high defense along with Demon Island's high ceiling, but a Sair, of course, will do it against a very damaged Bryn on the side of the Blast Zone. So, as we have a game perfectly even, Djessir's ability to stay alive and not take that much damage, and is still untouched on the second stock despite being on it for close to a minute now. I mean, Djessir's in this. Ooh. Yeah, Landfish is throwing a lot of moving parts at Djessir. First, a map change and also a skin change, which we try to tell everyone it's a bigger change than some people like to admit, a skin change. But right now, not only a separate not only a separate map type, we have a flat platform as opposed to two platforms, but also a different character, entirely different stat SIGs and secondary. So there's a lot of changing variables being thrown at Djessir, but he is still here on the verge of the 2 stock. Oh, not anymore. It could be it, but Landfish has actually been struggling with these reads a little bit, especially compared to Djessir, who was able to get some red out of the gate. So I'd say that this read really needs to come through like a miracle, or maybe bet on something other than a. There we go. The read's starting to come through. Hopefully, it's not too late. He's getting it. Not quite. Another chance. Right now, both of them are just having a bit of a hard time avoiding the spacing. Also because Landfish's spacing is better on Spear than it is on Axe. So right now, Landfish is trying to be a little extra careful, and Ensig will send Djessir into KO color, both on red. Landfish playing a game for his life, basically. As Sair not quite gonna do it. Oz doesn't recover into the weapon throw, dodges out of the. So many attacks that Djessir's trying to use as the ledge guard. It's so close! How is he doing this? Oh.